Welcome back. It's the team race day. It's today they're going to have a lot of fun out there. They're not racing fleet races, the qualification series is over, but don't worry, then they're having fun. And most of the sailors are saying team races is the most fun experience on the water. Let's meet one of the sailors and hear more about what they have to say about it.
Hello, I am Prince Sabying from Thailand. So this is my 4th international IOTA event, and the best experience is having fun and making friends in the water. My qualification series was not too bad. I was in gold right now, and I feel like I could do better, but this is already okay for qualification series, and I expect probably light wind here in the next 2 days. The best part of being an Opti sailor is having fun on the water and making friends with international friends.
Coaches and team leaders is a very important part of being in a championship like this. Let's meet the Indian coach. She knows a lot about sailing.
Hi, my name is Nopaka Punpat. I'm coaching for the India team. So it's my pleasure to coaching for the India team as a host, and also I've been coaching them 3 events already. So this is my 3rd event to working with them. Now we have 20 sailors in the event. So we have in the top level, and also in the people just started for a few months. So yeah, it's many different levels in the team. So now the event have been 2 days already. So we finished the qualification race. So I think 7 sailors is in the gold fleet. Which is very good result for the India team. I'm very happy for them. And also yesterday we have 2 sailors finished first in 2 races. One girl from India, another boy from India as well. Yeah, so it was amazing race for her, because the race before she finished first, she was about 10 from the last, and then she has no passion to sailing anymore. So I was discussing with her, and then I pushed her, and then somehow she turned out finished first. So now she's very motivated herself to continue sailing. And I think it's very good opportunity to all the Indian sailors here to bring it to be a good passion to keep sailing in the futures.
It's team race, and one of those who know most about team race is the coach. The coaches love it because this is the way the sailors are learning the rules the easiest way. Here it's not the best sailor winning, but the sailor that knows the rules that's winning the race. Let's meet the American coach and hear more about team race.
So I'm Matias Rengifo. I'm a Peruvian. I'm coaching Team USA at this event. I came with another coach, friend of me, Rodrigo Benedetto, that he can come over here to explain with me as well. So we both are going to talk about team racing and what do we seek while we coach different teams. We us think that the most important part is always going as fast as possible, really working on your fleet racing, and after you are able to do the best maneuvers the fast as you can go, then you can start going on to rules and contact against the rivals. We normally work different plays at different marks, so the kids doesn't have to think too much before making the action. It's like any other sport, basketball, soccer, or whatever, that they train before different plays. So when they meet at the competition, they just make it happen, and they have different kind of reactions in response, depending if the other team knows already that playbook, so they can readapt and make another one just immediately. Because finally, it's about which kid has much more playbooks learned, so the brain can act faster. The combination to win is 18 points. So if you make 18 or less points, you are going to win. And Making 18 points have a particular condition that if you make an 18 but your team got the first in the race, you're going to lose because you didn't act too much as a team. The other team that finished 3, 4, 5, 6 is closer together, so they are winning. That's one of those combinations. After that, they have to be thinking about the points, the positions, how much they are winning in each mark. Because if they have a winning combination, they normally try to push as fast as possible the race to finish it. And if they are losing it, they try to create different situations to make a little bit of this control and try to pass the rivals.
Yesterday we talked about flags on the water and communication, how important it is to communicate between the race officers and the sailors. And who knows more about that than the race management themselves.
Hello, I'm Colette Krause. I'm an international umpire and I am the chief umpire for the teams racing for the Asian Optimist Champs. So teams racing is one team against another. Each team is 4 sailors against 4 sailors. And what we do is on the water, we make the decisions about the protests. So unlike fleet racing where we come in and do the protest offshore or on the shore, on teams racing, we make them instantly. So if the teams think the other boat has fouled, they raise a flag and yell protest. And we give them a second to decide if they know who is wrong. If nobody takes a penalty and we think one of the boats has made a penalty, we will penalize them and they have to do 2 turns. So if they do it on their own, they do 1. If we penalize, it's 2. And the idea is by the time the race is over, there's no more protests, so the race is decided on the water. You don't come ashore and do any other protests. So that allows the racing to continue right to the end. At the end of the day, we have a winner. Okay, so when we're umpiring on the water, there are 2 boats or 2 teams. So one of us takes one team, the other calls the other team. So we talk about what our boat is doing, whether we're the right-of-way boat or whether we have to keep clear. And from that, if a boat makes a protest, we can make a decision on whether there was no penalty. So we say a green flag, green and white. Or if we think one of the boats has made a penalty, we give them a penalty, which is a red flag.
It's Team Racing Day. It's the great tradition of the Optimist Championships. It is one of those days where the sailors are using both to relax and have fun and meet each other. One of the activities was Play E-Sailing, an upcoming e-sailing game. In the shadow beneath the palms, a small gaming area appeared. Sailors, coaches and volunteers had fun racing with and against each other. Some sailors noticed that the Opti in the game sailed with a similar speed as they could do on the water. The race committee had planned to use a direct knockout for the team race. With this decision, the teams would be knocked out when losing their race, but it also meant that all nations could start with more than 1 team. A team consists of 2 girls and 2 boys. A total of 60 teams were ready to participate in the competition. 3 teams from India, 2 teams from Thailand, 2 teams from Japan, 2 teams from Singapore, 2 teams from Sri Lanka, 2 teams from Hong Kong, 1 team from Australia, 1 team from Taipei, and 1 team from USA. In this highlight show, we will focus on the semi-finals and finals. But don't worry, here's a small sum up what happens in the other races. A team race course is also known as the end course. Sailors go from the starting line, sailing up towards the upwind mark. From the upwind mark, they sail to the reach mark. From the reach mark, it goes downwind to the downwind mark. From downwind mark, they go to another reach mark. At the reach mark, they turn upwind towards the finish line. The team with less than 18 points wins the race. In case of a tie, 18 points for each team. The team with the winning boat was going to lose the race. 8 teams was ready to fight for the semi-final spots. Battle 1 was between Singapore 1 and USA. Singapore 1 dominated the race from the start to the end. At the upwind mark, all 4 boats were in the front of the 4 boats from USA. Singapore took a clear victory, 10 points, and USA 26 points. Battle 2 between Thailand 2 and India 1. A fight for positions at the starting line splitted the 2 teams into groups, with Thailand 2 close to the committee boat and India 1 at the pin end mark. A great battle where boats from India 1 sailed in high mode in port side and managed to go above the boats from Thailand 2 for after to be able to force the Thailand 2 boats to bear away and go below them. Thailand 2 was 1st, 2nd, 4th and 6th at the upwind mark. A perfect mark trap held back the 3 boats from India 1. Lots of protest by the Indian team, but umpires are not giving up decision as the protest is invalid. Thailand 2 had the control of the race, but in the last upwind leg they took some bad decisions that made India 1 come back in the race. India 1 ended up winning 16-20 over Thailand 2. Battle 3 between Thailand 1 and Singapore 2. Clear start for the boats, Thailand leading in the upwind, good race from Thailand and extending the lead, and was rounding the downwind mark still with 1st, 2nd and 3rd. After the reach mark, Thailand kept extending the lead. Nice and clear race, no big issues for them. Thailand 1 took the victory. Battle 4, Japan 2 versus Japan 1. It was a race that Japan 1 was going to win, but in the first part of the race it did not look like to be an easy win. Both teams had a good boat handling, but Japan 1 made a good mark trap at the downwind reach mark and took an easy win upwind towards the finish line. Semi-final 1, Singapore 1, India 1. India 1 was the big surprise in this semi-final, a nation that is not known for doing team racing. The semi-final 1 started with a clear start for both teams. It looked like a 1 versus 1 battle. Singapore 1 had a great control of the fleet and took advantage of their team racing skills. This made them round in 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th at the upwind mark. Unlucky for the team India, Singapore 1 started attacking battle upwind towards the finish line, showing their skill and boat handling. Singapore 1 managed to gain control of the race and ended up outrunning India 1 in the upwind leg. It became a clear victory for Team Singapore 1, finishing 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 5th. Semi-final 2, Thailand 1, Japanese 1. 2 teams with a high level of team racing skills was going to fight for the last spot in the finals. It was 2 teams that was used to train together, which made the race even more exciting. There was a great battle for position before the start. A 2 versus 2 in the committee boat end and also in the pin end. Upwind it started to become a 1 versus 1 battle. The 2 teams followed each other and continued fighting. And at the downwind mark, a decisive battle was going to unfold. Contact between 2 boats, ending up with a penalty to Japanese boat. Unlucky, a boat from Thailand hits the mark and had to perform a penalty turn, which gave Japan a chance to come back in the race. At the reach mark, Thailand 1 were in 1st, 2nd, 6th and 7th and had thereby 16 points. If they could keep that lead towards the finish line, they would win the race. Japan 1's chance to come back in the race was to focus on the 2 last boats from Thailand. Could they manage to push them to 7 and 8 position, would they win. The 2 leading Thailand boats got room to finish the race, and on the finish line Thailand 1, 2, 4, 3 managed to sneak in front of the Japanese defending boats and took 5th. This gave the victory to Team Thailand. It's time for the grand final. The final was going to be between Thailand 1 and Singapore 1. Two hard-fighting teams are getting ready for BO3. Race 1, close battles between all the boats. Very good positions by two boats from Thailand, all of them in port side. They might be first and second at the upwind mark. After the mark rounding into the last upwind leg towards the finish line, one boat from Thailand and one boat from Singapore was fighting for the lead. But just before the finish line, the boat from Singapore turns around to try to help his teammates by pushing the Thailand boats behind them away. This does not succeed and Thailand takes a clear victory. Thailand 14 points, Singapore 22 points. Race 2, a clear start. Singapore is able to give a penalty just at the start. That makes a Thailand boat start in last position. A very good start by Team Singapore, which is now dominating the race so far and put two Thailand boats in 7 and 8 position. Singapore 4463 does a mark trap. The only way the boats can come around him is going behind. But a nice move by Team Thailand make them win this battle and they are now second, third and fourth. But a hard battle at the downwind mark gave Thailand 1 a penalty. This gave Singapore 1 a chance to take the lead with first, third and fourth. This lead they kept towards the finish line. Race 3. The winner of the race was going to be crowned champion. A very aggressive start from both teams, but the teams followed each other until the downwind mark. At the downwind mark, Thailand 1 managed to set themselves in a position where they had first, third and fourth. Singapore 3163 was forced to be aggressive to give his teammates a chance to come back. Thailand 1 succeeds to keep their positions and was now looking like the winners of the 2022 Optimist Asian and Oceanian Championship. But upwind towards the finish line, it all became very exciting. Thailand 1 finished in first and third, and now they're just waiting to have a minimum 6th position to win the race. But at the finish line, Singapore 1 succeed to push the two last Thailand boats to 7 and 8 position, and thereby they won the team race championship. The score was 18-18, and Singapore was winning because of the rule of tie. If it's a tie 18-18, the losing team is the team with the winning boat. Just enjoy the finish here. It's been a great day on the water, and I hope all the sailors had a great experience. Don't worry, the fleet race is on, the qualification series is over. It's the time for the final series. We need to see who's going to win this championship.